Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you, the ladies, this literally does not work. You know, I'm rolling down the road, not drinking gin and juice. I'm not drinking gin and juice. It's too early in the morning for gin and juice. Besides, I'm a rum man. Rolling down the road, got to take care of my day job and stuff. And it's Wednesday, which means it's NFL Tears. Now, Nick Wright, who's very rarely right, is getting ready to do his Tears. And I'm betting that he's going to have Kansas City as a top 5 team. They're going to be the bomb diggity. They finally got a blowout win. They're back and yada, 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 going into, of course, playing the Dallas Cowboys. That is probably going to be the game that we all wanted. You know, for a while there, Kansas City was just looking bad. They looked like they were punch-drunk, hungover Super Bowl team. And they've since got at least a couple of victories, one against Aaron Rodgers, Packers without Aaron Rodgers, and the Raiders, which are flailing. So we'll find out for real, is Kansas City really back? Or is the Dallas Cowboys the team? So let's listen to it.
Visiting number 4 Michigan, and how about the Pirates pulling off one of the biggest upset
NFL
wins in program history? 2-point shocking win over the Wolverines. First time over a top 5 team for the Hall since 2000.
Pirates.
Good for the two. Wilds, what else you got for us?
Oh, we'll start with the wonderful BYU and Oregon. 2 good passes on the play. There's one. Here comes the other one. Johnson to George for the dunk. BYU rolls number 12 Oregon. Rolls them. 81-49. These preseason college rankings all over the map. Moving on to the weird. NBA pregame. Halftime of Warriors Nets. Chuck gets an early jump here, and Kenny just folds. Kenny just folds his hand.
Minutes past 8 also means it officially NFL tier time. Hey, week 10 was a doozy. A number of blowouts, a few surprises. Looking at you, Tampa. And then you had, like we talked about, Odell's first game as a Ram. Still got 8 more fun-filled weeks of regular season madness to go. But Nick, take us through your NFL tiers entering week 11.
Here we go.
Yeah, if there's ever a time you need the tiers, it's this week. I'm not one for cross-media criticism, but still, folks should check out the ESPN.com power rankings this morning, because they are literally the standings. It's unbelievable. Like, folks, why write the article if you're just going to rank them by record? Here's an accurate depiction from bottom to top. Well, this shots fired is just the truth. Sorry, NFL Nation. All right, then, the bottom 2 rows don't matter. The top 2 rows of the bottom, still alive, but barely. Gonna have to win like 4 of your next 5. You don't get names. When you don't get names on your tiers, you know you're in trouble. All right, next grouping. A little copyright infringement by me. Panthers, Colts, Vikings, Niners. As Kevin Wilds would say, I'm watching. Could you make the playoffs? And if you could. I didn't think you could a few weeks ago. Now all of you, I think, can. Get it together, group. Chargers, you've lost 3 of 4. Saints, you lost back-to-back games. Bengals, you lost back-to-back games. Steelers, you just tied the Lions, which counts as 3 losses. Get it together, group. All of you could still make the playoffs, but you got to get together. All right, show me the next grouping. Here, because by the way, we are now up to the top 10 teams in football. Go respect. So I have real concerns about the rosters of these teams. The Ravens defense has not been what it once was. I have concerns about the Patriots offense as a whole. However, Lamar is turning into the greatest dual threat quarterback ever. Belichick is the greatest coach ever. So either of those teams in a singular playoff game is going to demand respect of its opponent. That's why they are at the fringe of the top 10. Now we're at the top 8. Give me the next grouping.
Okay, let's go.
This one's tough. 3 losses? Really? All of these teams, if you would have looked at their schedule before the start of the year and said today, November 18th, what's the maximum amount of losses they could have? You would say worst case scenario would be 3. And they all have 3. Now, they haven't been exactly the ones you would have expected. Like Tampa, you would have been like, well, if they're going to have 3 losses, they lose to Dallas. They beat Dallas, but then they lost to Washington. The Bills, you'd be like, well, if they're going to have 3 losses, they lose to the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs, but they lost to the Jags. So these teams, we want to believe they're great, but the fact that they're all sitting at 3 losses right now is concerning. This one's tough. Injury alert. Listen, these 2 teams are excellent. However, Kyler has now missed back-to-back games. Derrick Henry's obviously done for at least the regular season, maybe the whole year. They deserve to be considered true contenders, but when you're both missing your best players, it's hard to put you up top with the top 3 teams in football. Give me the number 1 contenders. Now, I know what your immediate reaction is going to be.
Here we go.
Nick,
Kansas City.
The Chiefs? You really have the Chiefs on the same level as the Packers right after they beat the Packers. Why wouldn't they be higher? Well, the answer is, I don't know if people know, the Packers were missing a key player or 2 in that game. So I think it's fair to have the Chiefs and the Packers on the same level. Also, Kansas City, right now, I said it Monday, I will say it again. If you let any playoff team in the AFC draft their AFC opponent, do you really think any teams picking to play the Chiefs before they pick the Titans, picking to play the Chiefs before they play the Patriots? Maybe there's an argument that some people would rather play the Chiefs than the Bills, but you know who doesn't feel that way? Jacksonville, who beat the Bills. And then the favorites. Yeah. There's real bad rumors going on about what it means to be a favorite on the tiers. And Bruce Harden might get to it. The Cowboys. Cowboys, 3-time. They're like Jack Nicholson at the Oscars. 3 times they've been atop the tiers. Cowboys, they had a hiccup game. They weren't ready for Denver. We're going to give them a mulligan. They responded to that by annihilating those scrappy Atlanta Falcons. They retake the top spot for the 3rd time this year atop the tiers. There it is, Broussard. I've got to say, the committee did great work. Committee was a little committee. We met early yesterday because we all had to get to Barclays to do MVP chants for Steph. Yep. We started those, by the way, the committee, the dual action committee. But I really think the committee did a great job. Your thoughts?
All right, Nick, you know this. Usually I rip your tiers to shreds. And as I'm watching you unveil level after level after level, I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I'm shocked. These are actually good. I agree. I agree. And the titles, too. The titles worked for the first time in a while.
No titles.
But then you had to blow it. And America might not understand yet where I'm going. So let me let you in on a little secret, America. You're looking at the tiers and saying, wow, Nick's got Dallas at number 1. He really is objective. He's not just blowing smoke when he talks about how objective he is. But America, sad to say, no. He is not objective. It's the same old Homer, Kansas City bias that we've always seen with the tiers. And here's why. Nick's tiers have become, as opposed to the Bud list, which inspires players to play their best football, Nick's tiers have become a death knell, a predictor of doom. All right, the kiss of death. Look at this, America. 6 of the last 7 teams at number 1 lost that week. Yeah. 6 of the last 7. And guess who the Dallas Cowboys, number 1 this week in Nick's tiers, having to play this weekend?
I gotta look.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Nick has just used his negative mojo of the tiers to sabotage the Dallas Cowboys and all but guarantee a victory for his Chiefs. The Chiefs will beat Dallas, mark it down, because Dallas is number 1 on the tiers. And next week, that'll be interesting. Will Nick put the Chiefs at number 1, knowing that it's going to mean a loss? So, Nick, you had me at hello, but you lost me at goodbye with the Cowboys.
Listen, I don't believe in curses or black cats or stepping under ladders. I just believe in dripping in objectivity. So all I know is this: I didn't realize the Chiefs played the Cowboys this week. It seems like a big game. We'll probably talk about it at some point. That is extra pressure on the Cowboys Wilds. It also means the Chiefs could be all the way back. But if you lose to the number one team in football, I mean, there's no shame.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose to the best team in the league, So I mean, there's a lot to juggle here. But overall, Wild, I think Broussard's point is great job by committee. So thank you. I appreciate that on behalf of the committee. Your thoughts, Wilds?
Well, I agree about losing to the team at the top. Like, even if you take them to overtime, like the Mac Jones and the Patriots did. So that retroactively, you said that was a bad loss, actually a good loss. So here's the thing. Everyone's saying, there's so much parity in this year. It's so weird. I can't figure out any team can beat any other team. Every team has got a bad loss. Do they, though?
Cowboys don't.
Are you sure the New England Patriots have a bad loss? Because I don't think they do. Let's look at the 7 AFC playoff teams. I think the Patriots need to move up the tiers a little bit. Week 4, Tennessee loses to the Jets. Horrible. Chargers got blown out by the Ravens. Then the Ravens start feeling themselves. They got blown out by the Bengals. Then on Thursday, they were lost. Lamar's like, I don't know what's going on here. Lose to the Dolphins. Kansas City was shut out in the first half, even though Nick has turned the second half of that game, which was a blowout, into a good statistic. He lost 27-3. Buffalo was asleep at the wheel, went down to Jacksonville, lost. Steelers, I'm counting this as a loss. I don't count a half a tie as half a win. I'm a glass half full guy in my real life, glass half empty guy when you're playing the Lions and you tie. So, Nicholas, where's the Patriots' bad loss? It doesn't exist. They lost to the Dolphins. Yeah, by 1 point, week 1 in Mac Jones' premier game. No one on the earth, literally, no one on planet Earth, from the North Pole to the South Pole, said, wow, horrible loss for the Patriots. Horrible, ugly, disgusting loss, 17-16, and Mac Jones. The horrible loss. No one said it, so don't try to retroactively say it. And here's why that statistic is important. All of those teams have some sort of Achilles heel, flaw, weird thing happening. The Patriots have not. They lost to a good Saints team. They lost by 1 point in Mac Jones' first game. They lost to the mighty Tampa Bay Bucks in Brady's worst game. And they lost to Dallas, who was at the top of the tiers, in overtime. That's it. So all these other teams have flaws, but the Patriots are running around there like Greek gods, and they don't have Achilles heels. Nice try. There's no Achilles heels to this team.
But, as Bill Parcells says, you are what your record says you are. Now, later, I'm going to have some good news as far as the playoff hunt goes. Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? Yeah, I'm talking about playoffs. Currently, the Cowboys sit as the number 3 seed. If the playoffs were to start today, they would be playing the New Orleans Saints at home, wild card weekend, against my man Demario Davis and that defense. But I don't think it's going to stay there. I think the Cowboys have an opportunity still to get the number 1 seed. And I'll get the stuff together as I get down the road. I got to think. You know, I ride down the road. That's where my brain just starts like putting stuff together. It's between me, the road, and my mind. And that's it. All right. See you down the road. Peace.